The Yakuza series is known for having long, hard and tedious platinums, and there have been a few easier ones, but Gaiden is the easiest of them all. It's much shorter, there's no grinding, and if you ignored the story, this would be the perfect entry point for any newcomers wanting to know why this series is so beloved. So without further ado, let's platinum like A Dragon Gaiden. Speaking of the story, this video will have little to no spoilers, so let's get the 5 story trophies out of the way. This game's got a lot of combat in it, but first, let's talk about everything else you can do in the game. You can play golf, darts, blackjack, poker, Japanese card games I will never understand. And if you go to the Sega arcade, RIP, you can play Sonic the Fighters, Virtua Fighter, Fighting Vipers 2,
He got a bicycle from somebody. Who would be riding a bicycle in this arena?
Motorade, Sega Racing Classic, and there's even a master system in the game that's got a bunch of full games you can play. For the platinum, you only need to dabble in all of those games, and the first one we have to actually engage with is pool. We need to complete both the easy and normal difficulties of the one-shot challenge. To put it simply, you've got one shot to pot the ball, and each difficulty has 3 stages you need to complete, and you need to complete all 3 of these stages in 10 attempts. To start off, the easy one is very easy, and after some stupid shots, I did it in my first go. So I assumed normal would just be a slight step up, but I'm not joking, we're starting off with one of the hardest trophies in the whole game. On the first stage, it seemed easy, but I just couldn't work it out, and we ended up finishing it with my final shot, and we failed on the second stage, which means we need to do it all over again. Quite quickly, I found this cheat code to almost always finish the first stage, but the second was so finicky, and I had no clue how to get it. Eventually, I started just consistently potting it in the wrong pocket, but after making tiny adjustments, we got it in. Now we have to do the final stage in only 2 goes. And we're back to the start. After multiple attempts, we got back here again with 8 attempts to do it in, and I'm going to be honest, I think this is like 80% RNG, so good luck to you if you're going to attempt it. But we finally... Okay, back to the start again. Finally, the RNG god looked down on me and it was over. For a quick explanation of why this platinum is so easy compared to the other games, you can see here, there's both hard and legendary difficulties of this, and in other Yakuza games, they'd make you do these, but not here. We never have to look at pool ever again. Now let's move on to more side content. Oh wait, no, not that. Let's talk about combat for a bit. The game has 2 fighting styles, Yakuza and Agent. Yakuza is just your normal brawler style, and we get a trophy here for parrying 5 unblockable attacks. And with Agent, Kiryu has a bunch of gadgets, and we need to use them all a certain amount of times. Spider is basically just a whip and you can fling people about. You can also call in drones to attack the enemies, throw explosive cigarettes, and whatever this is meant to be. After throwing someone into the river, we've now got most of the pure combat trophies out the way. Even if you've not played one yourself, you know that Yakuza is known for its many in-depth, funny and sometimes profound side quests. So let's have a look at them. In this first one, we just need to beat someone up. Now we have to get a ball out of a tree, then get some underwear out of a tree, grab a crawfish out of the river, grab a ring out of the river, grab some shoes from an awning. This woman's hat blew off in the wind, and I thought maybe it flew under the bridge. Oh no, it's just up a tree again. There's also a bunch of quests where you need to deliver food or items to people. Like here, where a guy in a toilet needs tissues. If you can't tell, these are not the same kind of side quests people talk about. So let's continue through and complete 30 and 50 of these in total. These are the actual side quests, and as you can see, I've got a lot of them to do. I can't show all of these in detail, but let's look at a few. We beat up this guy's overbearing manager and then had a fight with him ourselves. Had a mini boss battle with this guy dressed as a samurai, and we beat up various gang members around Kamurocho. One of the quests is to find 7 mysterious golden balls in the city, but thankfully for the Platinum, we only need to find 1. Two of my favourite sub-stories was this one making fun of ChatGPT where it tells the guy to jump off a bridge. And if you don't know by now, I'm a huge wrestling fan, so I love this one where you promote a local show and end up getting a poison Ivana for your help. By completing all of these side quests, you become closer to the quest giver Akame, and you can even take her out to do karaoke, which Yakuza is famous for. Okay, maybe not that song, sorry. Now, let's check out Pocket Circuit. This is just a super satisfying minigame where you choose gear for your car and then watch the races play out. Now, this mode has a lot of trial and error where you need to pick the correct carts based on the course, and ultimately I just used a guide. In the second race we fell behind and we had no chance with our current car. Even using the boost wasn't good enough. So let's take a break and talk about some of the collectibles in the game. There's 50 locker keys hidden throughout the map, and opening each locker will give you a different item. In the past games I've just used a guide to find these, but if you buy the contact lenses from the shop they actually appear on your map, so I basically just ran about picking up every single one. There's a second map we'll talk about later, but that has even more keys. And now with her new gear, we could blitz past every race in Pocket Circuit. Now as for the actual trophies in this section, we basically just need to complete half of all the races, and also beat 3 one-on-one rival races. With her powerful car these are super easy, but at times I did get a bit cocky and had to restart. But after buying some better items and taking it slow, we completed this section. Now, by playing through the game, you're constantly getting money, and by completing side quests you get Akame points, and you need both of these to level up. So over the course of the game, I bought 50 upgrades, and the rest of the video is basically going to be all about the Colosseum. In the Colosseum you get to choose your own costume, and we got trophies for buying a certain amount of items. I originally went barefoot because I thought it was funny, but it makes this awful sound. So thankfully I went back and changed it. We started off the Colosseum by getting stunned, but after this match we were at silver level. And to put it simply, we just need to finish every fight. The Colosseum is split into different modes. Firstly, we've got one-on-one matches, and we also have Hell Rumble matches, where it's you against loads of people. And in my first one, I'd used Extreme Heat 50 times. Soon we were at gold level, which unlocked a lot more for us to do here. And by completing side quests we got more members to join us, we just unlocked 10. The main test here is to defeat the 4 kings, which are basically 4 big boss battles. And to challenge them, we're going to have to practice a lot by doing Hell Team Rumble matches, which is us and a bunch of guys against a bunch of guys. We do have a time limit in this mode, but we managed to do the first one easily and start leveling up. And eventually we got to Platinum level. Off camera I had done a bunch more tournament matches, and now I thought it was time to challenge the first king. And even though we started this fight with loads of time left, he just has so much health and we failed. And after a few more attempts getting nowhere, I realised we need more powerful teammates to help us. So I grinded for money and bought as many as I could afford. Eventually recruiting 30 members total. We continued to grind out the Colosseum and completed every silver match, getting loads of fans along the way. And we fought the first king again. As you can see, it went so much better and my teammates survived so much longer, but I still died so quick. So we just continued our journey through the actual tournaments and I learned a lot. You can see here how weak I actually am, but how powerful everyone else is. And I realised it's actually a valid strategy to just stand back and let the team do the work. And now we had completed every gold match. I still felt like I was dying fast though, so I looked online and found that this is some of the best gear in the game, and I couldn't believe how powerful I was now, and I managed to take on this whole Colosseum match with no teammates. We easily got past the 4 kings, getting 30k fans as we beat the first one. The second king is a one-on-one match with no time limit, so I found this much easier. And we beat up the third and fourth kings. All we had left in the Colosseum was to get 10 guys to level 20, so I just grinded out the final match over and over again. We're almost finished with the game now, but I need to check out the cabaret before moving on to the secret final boss. I made sure to buy some perfume before they head in. Now, for some people, gaming is all about living a fantasy, so if you want to play a game and just have conversations with women, then this is the game for you. Personally, I don't like this part of the game and I just find it quite weird, so I wanted it out of here ASAP. You basically just answer questions the live action women ask, and if you finish a session with your meter above this point, you'll get a love heart. If you get 3 love hearts, you get this unskippable cutscene and can move on to the next person. Let me be clear, these are the only unskippable cutscenes in the whole game. There's 2 ghettos in the city club and 3 in the castle, so you need to do all 5, and this took me about an hour. Okay, now let's get back to the actual good stuff. Every Yakuza game has a secret boss, and that's all we have left to do. First we had to finish his Colosseum matches, and then go meet him for a fight. I'd been playing most of the game on easy, but I wanted to do this the intended way, which ended up being a mistake. In the fight, our opponent is super agile and it's hard to hit him sometimes, and he deals a ton of damage. Now I haven't actually spoken in depth about combat yet in this video, but in these fights you can essentially heal infinitely, so even though he does a lot of damage, it's not too bad. However, it took me so long to realise he can heal as well. The thrones above his head are in a love heart shape, indicating that they're healing him, so I used my own thrones to fight him and finally do some damage. Before he calls him back and starts healing again. Now I kind of realised at this point that even though I could do it, it was going to take ages with him healing constantly, so I ended up just letting him beat me and swallowed my pride and did it on easy. We loaded back in, fought him the exact same way, and took out the final enemy in the game to get the platinum. Make sure to leave a comment and let me know if you want to see me do more Yakuza games. I've now got the platinum in this and 7, but other than that I've only played 0, 1 and 2. Infinite Wealth comes out in January. Do you want to see me play that? Just let me know, tell me your thoughts. But anyway, thanks for watching the video and I hope you enjoyed it.